So do you need a mentor? Should you read books? A lot of different opposing views out there. It's hard to know what to believe. I'll just give you this advice. Someone once told me, people lie, but numbers don't. When you're confused, just look at the numbers. So don't listen to what I say. Don't listen to other people's opinions. Do the research for yourself. It's very easy. Just look at the Forbes list. Most successful entrepreneurs. Did they have mentors? Did they read? I'm gonna read you a list. I kept a little list that I found very interesting. I once did the research and it blew me away. It was like, oh my gosh, almost everybody that I looked up to had one. I'll just give you a quick example. I'll just read randomly. Bill Gates had Ed Roberts. Oprah Winfrey had Mary Duncan. Steve Jobs had Robert Friedland. Buffett had Benjamin Graham. Michael Jordan had Phil Jackson. Sam Walton had L.S. Robson. Zuckerberg had, of course, talking about this earlier, Steve Jobs. And I can go on and on. Here's a list of people and their mentors. Now, if you change one word, this becomes the most obvious point. I don't even know why I have to record this video. Change the word mentor for coach. I sat next to Kobe Bryant at the end of last year for a few games, and I went back in the locker room. He let me come back with him, and I asked him, I recorded a video, and I said, did you have mentors? And he instantly was like, Ty, mentors are the most important thing. And he had a wide variety of mentors. He mentioned Michael Jackson had given him advice. He had one of the CEOs of Disney, all these different people giving him advice. Mark Zuckerberg, when it comes to reading, not only did he have Steve Jobs as a mentor, but he said this. He put a post last year. He started a book club. He said, I'm not reading enough. Now, like I said, I don't know about you, but I'm not as good of entrepreneur as Mark Zuckerberg. If Mark Zuckerberg needs books and mentors, I need 10 times more than him. He's smarter than me. He's more successful than me. Albert Einstein, one of the smartest people in history, had a mentor. Every Thursday, he had lunch, starting as a teenager, with the family of that mentor and learned math and physics and all types of things. Stephen Hawking had a mentor. I don't know about you. I'm not smarter than Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking. If they need one, I need them even more so. Throughout history, it all stays the same. Alexander the Great, one of the great conquerors, he had a mentor. His father, at 15 and a half, hired Aristotle, the great philosopher, and said, I need you to travel with my son. Teach him. And so he did. The great Aristotle, interesting though, Aristotle was mentored by Plato. Plato was mentored by Socrates. You see that, paying it forward? You see that Steve Jobs was mentored and in turn he mentored others? Y Combinator is a group up in the Silicon Valley area, and what they do is they find young promising entrepreneurs and they bring them in, they give them a little capital, they put them in a building and they give them advice, give them mentorship, point them in direction, motivate them. You see, mentors don't just give you advice, they also motivate you. What companies came from that Y Combinator mentorship incubator idea? Dropbox, Airbnb, Reddit, Stripe, multi-billion-dollar companies coming from this idea. Remember, there's only two ways you learn. From somebody or from what somebody